Help me, Dr. Lee. We are working from the inward self to the outside world. How much does a pharmacist in 2019 really make anyway? I heard that they cut pharmacist pay. Oh, pharmacists make a ton of money. They make out of school, they're just making 120. They're making bank. So they cut pharmacist pay. But you want to know by how much? So everybody heard about Walmart. And then everybody heard about Walgreens. Today I'll be talking about retail pharmacy, so Walgreens, CVS, grocery store. We're gonna crunch just a little bit of numbers today. Come on, you know you want to. From my experience. So as you all know, Walmart actually has had a huge layoff. And from the details, there have been a couple people that have reported online of what this actually meant and how much the impact was on the people that worked for the company. As far as I can tell, I can see that there are actually quite a few job postings with Walmart that kind of happened very shortly after the massive layoff that occurred. From two different perspectives, I wonder from a standpoint of a pharmacist that worked there, why is it that they immediately are replacing, or why did they make that layoff? And then why did they immediately have a job posting afterwards? From a peripheral information standpoint, I have heard that there is a push in the market to drive anybody who has been in the pharmacy world for 20 plus years to go ahead and take retirement or get laid off because their pay has been increasing ever since they started, basically. They have probably sustained more than a few pay freezes, things like that, when the economy is kind of leveled off. But then after that, you have these $1 to $2 increases every year that they're there. So if you think about it, anybody who has been going through that cycle for more than 10 years, you're probably thinking about maybe getting paid 60, 70. If you've been with the company for a while, maybe you're getting paid up to $80 for 20 plus years of service. You're asking me, show me the money. I really want to know what these numbers actually mean. When I was offered, I actually kind of jumped back and forth between retailers, and that was actually a bad idea. Usually it's a more positive thing for people because they can negotiate a rate that's higher. But when I actually jumped over to a competitor the first time, my rate increased by about $1. And then when I jumped back, that's when Walgreens had made a company-wide redistribution of those hourly rates. During my interview, I was told, I really apologize. Their pay rates have been drastically cut. We can't get your old rate. I said, that's okay. I was offered $47 to the hour. When I first joined the original company straight out of graduation, I was getting paid $56 originally when I first graduated. So I actually was able to negotiate up my new rate, and I went from 47 to 49. And then, if you want to look at the difference from the original rate, I'm going from 56 to 49. It wasn't too bad, but also keep in mind that every single year the demands increase on the people that currently are staffing each particular location. Pharmacists now are not rated at guaranteed 40 hours per week, meaning that you'll see that even at a lot of grocery chains, they have moved from 40 hours to a solid 32 hours guaranteed. And then they do give an option to the staff to pick up an extra shift. Also worth noting is that pharmacists do not get paid overtime. It was expressed in the graduating class of 2017 that overtime would be granted at $1 extra per hour when anything was worked over 40 hours in that week. I have checked with pharmacists that have been with the same company for probably more than 5+ years, and it looks like they are offered overtime at about a few extra dollars on top of the hourly rate that they do have. They are moving from being very generous with their pay and their overtime, and then as the years go by, they become a little bit more conservative. So in terms of crunching the numbers, when I was offered a position, I was offered the 32 hours a week at the 56. per the hour. So instead of crunching a number like I would be making $520 in terms of a salary based on 40 hours, I was actually bringing in $86,016 for an average of 32 hours a week. Keep in mind as well, when I had started out, I was not guaranteed particular schedule. It was very rare that I was getting weekends. And for my particular situation, I was also commuting 1 hour, if not an hour and a half, and sometimes up to an hour and 41 minutes to my job sites. And the job sites would change every day, every couple days, or weekly. But usually it was pretty normal to be at a different store every shift. So going from the 56 to the 49 in terms of crunching the numbers, we saw a change from $86,016 to about $72,192. So that was a further decrease of $13,824. Now keep in mind too, right now I currently hold and am owing Sally Mae and the federal government about $124,000 of borrowed money for my education over at Ohio State.